Number 5 has been asked by the Honourable J.S. Malema. The question is about whether the President's call to Elon Musk, an unelected businessman, was used as a diplomatic channel, and if so, what role did the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation play in arranging the meeting and the subsequent call? The Honourable President.
A very simple and straightforward answer to that. Yes, I have spoken to Mr. Elon Musk. Yes, the Minister of International Relations has either been in occasions when I have met with Mr. Elon Musk, if you want to know. We together with Minister of Trade and Industry and Minister of International Relations and Cooperation met with Mr. Elon Musk when I went to the United Nations General Assembly last year. He came to my hotel room and we had a discussion, and the discussion revolved around his would-be investments. So did I speak to him? Yes, recently. The answer is yes. And this we do because we continue to engage with a variety of people through diplomatic channels, as well as we engage with them through various constituencies in countries that we have relations with. And as I've indicated through this conversation that I had, we were able to have a discussion on what was a mischaracterization of what was being said about our country. And he, being a person who is quite, I would say, influential, whether one likes it or not, as we interact with various people, business, academic, research, or otherwise, we do interact with people who we believe are able to discuss issues with some people in very official categories. So we do talk to non-state actors as well as state actors. And we will continue to engage with people both inside and outside of South Africa to promote our country and to promote the interests of our country. There's just nothing sinister about the various discussions that we hold with a variety of people. Even on an ongoing basis, when people make contact with us, yes, we talk to them, but we always make sure that our foreign policy positions are advanced and they are not undermined or diluted. Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
The first supplementary question will be asked by the Honourable Malema.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Mr. President, I don't know wittingly or unwittingly, when you were answering the question about our relationship with the USA, not once have you mentioned DERCO or Minister of International Relations. And this is as a result of you having met Elon Musk during the UN General Assembly and knowing very well the views of Elon Musk about South Africa, racist, white supremacist views about South Africa, which led to you meeting him because you thought you were going to clarify those issues. Unrepentant racist became emboldened and then made more bad remarks about South Africa even after meeting you physically. You still saw a need to go outside the diplomatic channels and made a contact with an individual, not using diplomatic relations or mechanism within which we resolve diplomatic disputes as South Africa. Don't you think you individually have emboldened white people to undermine us, and you have single-handedly destroyed the diplomatic relations of South Africa with other countries, and you have destroyed and juniorized the Department of International Relations. Le re tloetša ka makgowa, Mr. President. And le swantše le tsebe gore nto ya go bolela le ditsotsi tša go tshwana le bo Elon Musk ko re taletša ka bana ba makgowa. And worse, Elon Musk, you organized a meeting with him or that telephone conversation through his immoral father, politically, economically, and otherwise. A man who has engaged in business in South Africa through illegal means, even when he has admitted to do so. Those are the type of characters you can't speak to. Imagine, Mr. President, had they said Donald Trump would call the Guptas during that time. What were you going to say? You're going to say that Guptas are an independent state actor. You're not going to say that. You're going to feel undermined. And that's what exactly what you've done. What are you saying about established practices of resolving issues in a diplomatic way and diplomatic channels in South Africa? Do you have a full confidence in the Minister of DERCO and the department itself? You speak about an ambassador in Washington or New York. That ambassador belongs to the Department of International Relations. Instead of talking about international relations, leadership, and the department, you talk about ambassador. But when you talk about DRC, you talk about Minister of Defense is doing 1, 2, 3. You don't say ambassador in DRC is doing 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Honourable President. Honourable President. Please proceed. Yes, please.
I was waiting for you to give me the cue, Deputy Speaker, after that tirade. Now, Honorable Malema, ke kgopela ntho e le nngwe fela. O ska leka go lwantsha president le minister wa gagwe. Bjalo wena o nyaka go kena ka mogare. Taba ya go šoma haka le minister wa ka a e batle wena. Emela ka thoko. Emela ka thoko ka obane wa bona ha re le di meeting tsa rena tsa cabinet kapa di thing kapa ao yo wena o ba o se gona le gore re shumisana byang ka bane minister o re ha fetsa go etsa dilo tsa gagwe a bolela le batho wa mputsa le nna ke fetsa go bolela le batho ke a mmutsa. So wena bjalo o leka go kena hare ha rena nka se dumele ntwe le ganyana nka se dumele. So we work in a very interactive way, and as I said to you, there is just no way we can say we don't talk to certain people who are either non-state actors or state actors. The discipline that I have always followed, if you care to know, is to always keep my colleagues informed, and they always keep me informed. Be they ministers or deputy ministers, we always know when we do certain things that have to do with the Republic of South Africa. So ke fella gona mowe o ska re lwantsha ke a gopela.
Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker.
Honourable President, it seems that there is a point of order. If you can please just take your seat. Yes, Honourable Member, Honourable
Thank you,
Matwe.
Deputy Speaker. With all due respect, the President did not answer the question. Instead, he went on and on educating us about his relations with the Minister of South Africa. You might have appointed him, but he's serving for the people of South Africa. And when there's something wrong that you are doing, allow your members of parliament to tell you and show you that this is wrong. Because you can't have the department that has been undermined the way you are undermining it. The minister is there for a purpose. He's there to have interactions with the international community, not for you to be engaging with criminals, Mr. President. So please, Deputy Speaker, with due respect, the President did not answer the question. We ask respectfully for the President to answer the question.
Thank you, Honourable Matwe. That is up for the President to decide whether he has answered it. He is the replier to this question. Honourable President, there is another point of order before we proceed. Honourable Manye.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Mine is a different one. I'm just worried about the mics here. You know, when Honourable Malema was speaking, you put your mic on, your lips were moving, but there was no sound. Just now you will say somebody disregarded your ruling. Can we get the IT people to attend to the sound, to the mic issue? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Manye. Yes, indeed, there is a little bit of a problem with the switch here. I'm quite aware of that, so I am concentrating that it switches on before I speak. Honourable President, please proceed.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. It's a simple answer. In whatever I do not seek to undermine any of the colleagues I work with. Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable President. The second supplementary question will be asked by the Honourable Gigaba.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. There is obviously an urgent need for a new multi-pronged strategy in relation to the new geopolitical risks that we are facing, especially in light of recent US elections and the treasonous actions of AfriForum and Solidarity. Mr. President, can you provide light to the nation as to measures government is taking to ensure that we harness national consensus, patriotism, and solidarity and responsibility, including that of people of South African origin living abroad, to persuade them to contribute positively towards projecting South Africa positively globally, advance our national interests, and combat anti-South Africa and anti-transformation propaganda? Thank you.
The Honourable President.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, thank you. Yes, Honourable Kigaba, we should all, as South Africans, be projecting a very positive image about our country. And this much we have said, particularly to people who, either through the work they do, through their travels, have an opportunity to interact with people in various other countries as they travel, as they work elsewhere, and indeed in whatever they say. We often say that, be proud of your country. We are a sovereign nation, and we stand very proud amongst nations of what we are and what we've been able to achieve since the dawn of our democracy. Let us speak about all that, and whatever problems and challenges we have, we should have opportunities to discuss them here at home. We have said that incessantly also to the business community who are able to travel all over the world, and that message seems to have been heeded and is being heeded as we speak now, because they are coalescing around what South Africa is and what South Africa is all about. And we have not had much of negative talk from them about their own country. And indeed, in our engagements with people, South Africans who are in the diaspora, we also seek to foster that type of message. When I've traveled to various countries, particularly in the US, we do take time to meet South Africans who are in the diaspora, who often say that we want to continue engaging with the leadership of the country so that we can hear exactly what progress is being made, so that we can beam it much louder where we are. So this is a mission that all of us should take up. Wherever we have time to interact with various people, let us be projecting that type of messaging to the world, to those that we interact with. So thank you very much, Honorable Kigaba, for putting that firmly on the agenda, and I do believe that it should be firmly put on the national agenda so that all of us as South Africans should act out our patriotism, and by doing so we are able to demonstrate to all and sundry in various countries that we are proud of our country, and our country that is standing as a sovereign country, a country that will not allow itself to be tossed hither and thither or even be bullied by other stronger and bigger nations, because we are a country that is proud of itself. Thank you very much.
The third supplementary question will be asked by the Honourable Sali.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Chair. Mr. President, Elon Musk, the unelected businessman, as described by Honourable Malema, is funding a foreign campaign in support of genocidal attacks on Palestinians, apartheid policies, and US aid sanctions against South Africa. We are a signatory to the International Convention on the Suppression of the Crime of Apartheid. When will our law, considering the relevant convention, be ratified, amended, and domesticated and aligned to the convention, whereby prosecution of those supporting apartheid can be pursued, as well as consideration of revocation of citizenship of those supporting apartheid? I thank you.
The Honourable President.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The domestication of various conventions and various protocols that are adopted internationally is a matter that is processed through our various departments, particularly our Department of International Relations and Cooperation. So that is a matter that they address on a programmatic basis and bring forward to Cabinet, and thereafter bring forward to Parliament. So this is one of a number that are eventually going to be brought forward to this Assembly as well. Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. President. The last supplementary question will be asked by the Honourable Kwankwa.
Thank you very much, Speaker. President, as South Africa navigates the very complex and multifaceted aspects of the shifting geopolitical landscape, how do you intend to position South Africa in this shifting global political landscape? And two, whether you would consider, as a country, we would consider moving towards countries that are shouldering more global responsibilities in terms of leadership. Thank you.
The Honourable President.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. Our foreign policy is guided by promoting our own interests as a country, also by human rights advocacy, and by ensuring that we have good, mutually beneficial relations with other countries in the world. And to this end, we will work with those countries and those institutions that seek to assist us or help us to achieve our objectives. And our objectives are just clearly stated. They are underpinned by the precepts of our Constitution and by the principles that we have embraced as part of our democratic outlook or architecture. And as we do this, we will seek to work with those who will advance those interests, and our approach will generally be a non-aligned approach. We are non-aligned And that enables us to be able to interact with various countries in the world. We as a country see ourselves as a friend to all other countries in the world on a non-aligned basis, and that is why we belong to the non-aligned movement, and that is why we've chosen to belong to institutions or forums like BRICS. BRICS, that is a collection of countries, particularly in the global south, that seek to advance and promote each other's developmental goals or objectives. And in the United Nations, joining many, many other countries in the world, we stand proud as a nation amongst other nations, recognizing other nations and being respected by others, and we are able to advance our own national interests as we also respect other countries' national interests. So that is the trajectory that we have chosen for ourselves, and in many ways we are respected around the world, and we are always identified as a country that can contribute to the advancement of a number of priorities that face the world. When it comes to climate change, we've also been identified as a leading nation that has embraced the vagaries of climate change. When it comes to human rights, exactly the same. When it comes to the development issues, either developing infrastructure and developing the interests of vulnerable people, women and children, even on our continent, we are recognized as playing a key role. So in many ways, we are the go-to country, and we wear that badge with humility. We wear that badge with pride as well, knowing that we have a contribution to make. And the other important thing is South Africans who fly our country's flag in various institutions in the world, whether appointed or elected, do so with dignity, with humility, right from the United Nations through to our own continent, and all of them advancing the interests of South Africa and putting South Africa on the map and ensuring that the name of our country is well positioned. So we do this at the international level, acting to ensure that our foreign policy is in line with the dictates of our Constitution. And we are very proud to be where we are internationally. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. President.